know what time it is, everybody.
Wait, what time is it? Oh, it's 2:01. Okay.
It's 2:01, which means it's I'ma Let You Finish.
Yay!
Show number 180. It's the one you've been waiting for, kids. One of us
comes out.
I want to come out to everyone right now and say something.
I wanted to come out. How come you always get to come out? It's not fair.
Honey, I've used it 48 times. This is my first time. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Twice. 14 times. That's what I say whenever I'm paying taxes. It may be my 61st time, but I'm all right.
All right. Anyway, hi.
Okay, why have you frozen?
Who, me? I'm not frozen.
Okay, you did. You just unfroze. How about this? One of us has an imaginary ballot. One of us has a real ballot that we are going to fill out right now.
With help.
This is a gagger. Okay, kids. It is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2024, class of 2024 time.
The ballot is due the same day taxes are due.
So it is time to figure out.
Well, I'm going to make you go first.
Okay.
Because you're the king of opinions. So I'm gonna read the names.
Okay.
I'm assuming are they in alphabetical order?
They're not in alphabetical order.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say then I need to learn the alphabet. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna read all the names and then we'll go over it. All right. So and as I have said 5,000 times before, it's a really good ballot. 7 maximum of 7, which is a lot. But there's a lot of good people. All right.
Does that mean they're going to induct 7?
Oh, I don't know.
Because, they choose that number goes up and down.
Yeah, it's 5 1 year, 6 1 year.
Right.
I honestly can't tell you. I don't know. I mean, I'd have. Hold on for 1 second. Mm-hmm. I hear weird noise in the background. You have a radio on or something like that?
Do you hear the Tennis Channel playing in the other room?
Yes.
Hold on, please. I was trying to keep up with the matches.
Sorry, guys.
That's hilarious.
I'm sitting am I hearing voices in my head?
I'm thinking it's on the low. You're like, sweetie. Really?
And I can hear it through headphones. Okay, getting back to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
That's hilarious. All right,
so Mary J. Blige is number 1 in the reading, and she. Oh, on this it is in order. Okay. On the actual. All right, so Mary J. Blige, this is, I believe, her 3rd time on the ballot or 2nd time on the ballot, but she's been nominated before. Mariah Carey never made it. This is her 1st time on the ballot. Been eligible for years. Same with Mary. The criteria is 25 years after your first record. Cher, never been on the ballot. Dave Matthews Band has been on the ballot, and I believe had the dubious distinction a couple of years ago of winning the fan vote but not making on the ballot, which usually doesn't happen. Eric B. and Rakim, I think they've been on the ballot before. I'm pretty sure they have. Foreigner, 1st time. Peter Frampton, 1st time. Jane's Addiction. I could have sworn they were on the ballot before, but I guess not. Kool and the Gang, I believe the 1st time. Lenny Kravitz, 1st time. Oasis, 1st time. Sinead O'Connor, 1st time. I feel like Ozzy has been on the ballot before. Sade and Tribe, and this is their 3rd year consecutively, I think, or certainly 2nd year.
I think this is Eric B. and Rakim's 1st time. I think you might have discussed them when you were in the room before, but I think
maybe you're right.
I think this is their 1st time actually making it to the ballot.
I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like they have. All right, so this is a really all right. So,
all right, what are we talking about in criteria when you're actually
for me?
Do we start with pure rock and roll people and then work our way outward?
I don't think anybody who's looking at this now, whether you're a fan or a voter, and any really who goes, it's not rock and roll, and that statement must be said in that voice. I'm sorry, you cannot say it come on. My argument has always been, well, neither were the Supremes, so let's just start taking out all the Motown acts. We want to play this stupid game that it can only be rock and roll, man. No, I think we have long established, and the hall has long established quite successfully that rock and roll is more than it's popular culture music, and everybody was like, why don't they call it the Music Hall of Fame? Well, they didn't. Okay, so move on. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I don't think that criteria should play any single role, because if it did, how many people would they have to take out?
Right.
I mean, really, James Brown, is he rock and roll? Is Aretha rock? I'm sorry, I'll stop making that stupid voice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There'd be very few. There are people who, when Stevie Wonder opened up for the Rolling Stones a gazillion years ago, he got booed off stage.
Right.
Right. So that audience didn't consider him rock and roll enough. So I'm assuming you think the same. It's like a bullshit. It's just called the rock, right? It's catchier, okay?
Yeah. But when I look at this list, I have to say, if I had to make my first pick, which I think might surprise you, it would be Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, well, I don't think it would surprise me. Because he
would definitely be my first pick.
Well, he's one of those guys, every year everybody plays the game, like people online or whatever go, I can't believe they should have like a whole category go, I can't believe they're not already in there. And he's in there with Black Sabbath. So it's to acknowledge his solo career, which I don't pay attention to him as an artist, not because I'm trying to be mean. He's just not my lane. But I have to imagine his solo career is as big as Black Sabbath, I think.
Huge. I absolutely, listen, I think that if you speak to a lot of people who do not know rock throughout history, they know the name Ozzy Osbourne.
Right, because he's also like a public figure. Yeah, I mean, he's been a pop culture figure. And
he's been an ambassador for the genre of music.
Oh, for sure. And also, I mean, like just recently we talked about on the show, T-Pain covered him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I absolutely believe he will get in. And he would be my first pick.
He deserves, I mean, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't think everybody on this list is deserving, but I wouldn't be surprised. And he's got he's just been around so long, and he really is hugely influential. Yeah. I mean, there are just certain, again, this is the statement I always make about Iron Maiden or Judas Priest. I think I know one Judas Priest song. I definitely know no Iron Maiden songs, but for crying out loud, when you think of that genre, I mean, they are like heavy metal. Who do you think about?
Absolutely.
All right. So who else? Who else would you?
My number 2 pick, if I had a vote, would be Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
And here's my defense of Sinead O'Connor. I believe so many people, when they think about her, they reduce her to Nothing Compares to You. First of all, they ignore, especially if you were around, right? I was the music director of my college radio station when The Lion and the Cobra came out. And people forget, that record made such a splash. She made such a splash. Before she pissed people off.
Is that the one with Mandinka?
Yes. Before pissing people.
I love that
That's
song.
The first single, right? That was just like, who is this?
Such a great song, yeah.
Great song, great songwriting. She was punk, post that punk generation.
The look was there, the look, the attitude, and the voice. And the voice.
And the talent. Yeah. And if you go beyond, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got, to all of her other records, she stayed making amazing music up until she passed away, which she was finishing an album, which I believe they do plan on releasing.
I hope so.
At some point. Listen, I think that she absolutely foots the bill, 1,000% deserves to be there. I hope that people don't reduce her to just one song, but I also think that they like women when they're dead, and they might vote her in because of that.
The audience that votes for this does not reduce her to one song, because if that were the case, she wouldn't be on the ballot, right?
Right, but I think of certain women they like when they're dead. Like, I think if Donna Summer were alive, she wouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I don't think they would have voted her.
Well, I think, okay, here's the thing with Sinead O'Connor. I mean, if you're going to look at it from purely, if you're going to play that it's not rock and roll card, who embodies a rock attitude more than this woman did?
Right. Absolutely.
She was a fight the power chick,
to the day she left this earth.
I will say that it's funny you said that about Nothing Compares to You. I was kind of like, when her daughter just did that beautiful tribute, why that song? Why did you have to do that song?
Well, I guess because it's the most known.
I know, but you're perpetual. Like, your mother had a beautiful catalog of music. Why are you putting more money in Prince's estate's pocket? But either which way.
Right.
this Sinead is the one I'm really vacillating on, because I will be very honest. She was not somebody I listened to a lot, though she was always sort of, I admired her. I thought she was really great.
Right.
The controversy didn't play any role in stuff. I do think, it's interesting. I've been seeing this debate online. It's like people who think she's great was like, are you going to vote for her because she's dead? I mean, because yes, I mean,
and that's what I just said to you. That's my fear, because when sometimes when people die, that's when they're like, oh, let's give them their flowers.
Right.
Now.
Well, either which way would be. I mean, but it's like, is it the body of work? I think that she has a body of work that warrants it. I think that for the first couple albums alone, she's not somebody I listen to on a consistent basis, but she's certainly somebody who made a huge impact. And so I tend to want to always see as many women in as possible. I don't think this would be a sympathy vote at any way, but I also think I think it might be viewed as a really good protest vote to kind of remind people that she was martyred that she was really destroyed by pop culture. I mean, but not pop, but men destroyed her. I mean, really, honestly. All right. Keep going. Keep it going.
My next will be another one that might surprise you, and it's Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, it's going to shock me, and I think I may end this show right now.
Well, here's the thing. I don't really listen to them.
Now, is these the people that you want in, or people that you think
people who if I had a ballot, I would actually be voting for? Because the thing is, there's my personal taste, right?
Yeah.
And there's people who I've seen do the work last, have certain level of career, being consistent. And I absolutely think Dave Matthews Band has done that in the rock genre. Dave Matthews Band have been massive since they came out. They've been consistent with that audience. They're huge. I think the music warrants it for the people who love them. And I think they deserve to be in there. I think they've done the work.
I don't get Dave Matthews. It's not my lane. I can think of only 2 songs. He seems like a very nice person. I understand what they represent. It's a world I don't care about. I don't care about jam bands. I don't care about college bands. That said, he seems like a very good person. He has done the work. Commercial success doesn't play any role in it, to me, to be honest with you. The fact that they've sold a lot of records is fantastic.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, but to me, it's all of the things together. It's consistently. It's being able to maintain the career. It's, you know what I mean? It's all of those things. Because there are a lot of people in there who did not have huge commercial success.
And they are influential. I will say something that always plays a role for me, and it's actually in a weird way harder this year because a lot of these artists are very singular in their own kind of thing, is influence. Like if you sit there and go, yeah, I see the through line between this person and this person and this person. But a lot of these artists are very kind of singular to me.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, keep going. This is fascinating.
My next one would be Cher.
Oh, well, we're on a board. We're on the same page with that.
And the reason why I say Cher is it's really interesting when you look at her career. You look at the Sonny and Cher years where, their songs were very sort of pop and beatniky. That was their energy.
Well, they covered Dylan, though. They had hits with Dylan songs.
And then when Cher goes on her own and she signs with Warner Brothers, and that's when she does like the Jimmy Webb produced albums and her rock albums, none of those albums are really hits, right? So she gets a hit again, finally, in about 77 with a disco song, Take Me Home. But
what about Bang Bang and Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves?
Well, those were really early, right? That's early on.
Okay.
And then she goes to Warner Brothers, and when she starts at Warner Brothers, a bunch of those albums in a row are just not hits. Like the album Stars, which is produced by Jimmy Webb, was not a hit. But I even though Cher does not write, I think for the consistency of being around and conquering all of these different genres, to her comeback in the 80s, really getting her real sort of musical sea legs and having those massive worldwide hits, to last year, the Christmas song that both you and I were like, okay, I don't love this, but having a huge worldwide hit with it. She deserves it. She's been around for a gazillion
Well, you know what
decades.
made me laugh? Again, I saw somebody online, I don't even know who this person is, they're allegedly were a music critic for years. Clearly, they were some sort of cousin ran the newspaper, because I can't believe this person literally said, I mean, like, my head almost exploded, as did everybody else. I don't see what Cher has to do with rock and roll. It's like, are you freaking kidding me? She was a session singer for Phil freaking Spector.
Right.
I'm sorry. She's on River Deep Mountain. Or some of those songs. Yeah, I love her. I mean, I will say that this is where I'm pretty sure I'm going to vote for her, but this would be where it's like, because her Cher-ness supersedes everything. I mean, it really does. It's like she's like Dolly. It supersedes everything. I mean, in many ways. And I just think, you want to talk about rock and roll attitude? Jesus Christ, Cher has told everybody to go F themselves repeatedly over the years. And she suffers no fools. And you know what I need to listen to? I'm sure it's on the Spotify. I'm sure you are the only person who owns a copy of this album. The album she did with Greg Allman.
I have that album.
That's what I said.
I have that album.
Right.
It was... The reviews on the album were horrendous. And it was a huge flop. It was the only time they worked together.
The whole title, All Man, All Woman. It was a horrible title. I can see the album cover seared into my consciousness of her lying there, and Greg Allman, probably high as a kite, God rest his soul, lying there. Yeah. That really, God, that record got pilloried. I mean, that record was ripped into every conceit because she was viewed as the person who destroyed his rock attitude. Yeah. Meanwhile, she was more rock and roll than anybody. I'm sorry. Yeah. She's freaking Cher. I mean, all right. Keep going.
My next one would be Oasis. I'm not a huge Oasis fan.
I am. You know, I love them.
I could give two shits about Oasis.
I could give 100.
But I 1000% think that even though people think they were derivative of other things, I think about all of the bands that were derivative of them.
Oh my God, I love them so much.
They're coming up on these huge anniversaries of their albums. And I think that, people use classic way too many times. But their first two albums
are
pretty much get to fall into that category.
No, those first
They're
two albums.
still referenced. It's still a moment.
Yeah. No,
people still want the fact that people still want them to get back together, even though they hate each other, and they still bring it up, lets you know how much of an influence that they have.
No. I love them, and if you want to start a fight faster than anything with a British music critic, bring up how much you love Oasis. Barney and Mark, who I love and you love. Every time I mention I love Oasis, they practically, whoa! You just literally, what was that? What was that, Dr. Dre? Incense. Your incense is that?
I'm lighting incense and trying to clean my chakras.
All right, Chakra Khan. No, I unabashedly, unapologetically, not guilty pleasure.
I know, you really like them.
I love
You really like them.
Those first two albums are perfect. In fact, really I would say Wonderwall is probably the weakest track on the first,
and that's a great fucking song.
It's a great song, but that's like,
even I have to be like,
no, that's a great song.
They have big sing out loud with fucking 50,000 people singing with you songs.
My British friends have always told me that the reason like the Brits love Sailing by Rod Stewart and Sweet Caroline, all this crap, because they spend 3/4 of their lives in pubs, raising glasses up in the air, going back and forth. No, I love Oasis. I know they're derivative. You know what? I don't have time for new concepts.
First of all, a lot of shit is derivative.
Everything's derivative.
When people try to pull that, I'm like, well, let's go through the list.
Well, and also, Noel Gallagher paid the price for deriving, didn't he? Because Coca-Cola sued him, and he had to give him like $1 million. So, you know that story, right?
No.
One of their songs, I forget. What's the song? It's on the second album. It's I Like to Buy the World of Coke. Yeah, he paid for that. They sued him. I forget the name of the song, but he was like, oh yeah.
How many have I picked so far? Did I say 4? How many did I go through? 4?
Cher, Sinead, Ozzy, Dave, Oasis. 5.
Did I say Dave? Oh yeah, 5. Okay.
Dave.
This is one where we're not going to agree on at all, 1,000%. Lenny Kravitz.
Oh, yeah, in fact, when I got my ballot, I just crossed his name out automatically.
I believe that Lenny Kravitz is a grade A rock star. He's another one who's got amazing albums that I loved. I'm excited for this new album. He's been consistent. I actually am. I have all of his albums. I really like his work. I think he's talented.
I think he's
he really tried it with the whole Madonna "Justify My Love" moment, where Ingrid Chavez had to sue, but and so did Audrey Bettis, who was the co-producer of the song.
I just find him to be so predictable. It's like I was watching that Beth Ann documentary yesterday.
Oh, did you like it? I enjoyed it.
I liked it. Well, I have some problems. We have a conversation about.
We'll have a conversation about that. We'll have a conversation.
And one of the main reasons I watch it is I kept thinking a friend of mine must have done the music for it because he kept posting the poster, and he did. Mark Anthony Thompson did the music. But as soon as that Black Girl song came up, I went, "Oh, this must be Lenny Kravitz because it's the most obvious song in the world." He's just obvious to me. He's like the Common of rock and roll. You see it coming a mile away.
Not the Common. Not the Common. That's so specific, and I understand what you meant.
Exactly what I mean.
1,000%.
You understand what I mean.
I understand on so many different levels.
No, you got it. You got it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why we do a show together. You know exactly what I mean. I'm not denying that Lenny has talent.
Right.
I'm not denying that he doesn't write a catchy little
tune. He was one of the ones I gagged the first time I realized. I was like, "Oh, Lenny Kravitz." She was like, "I can't stand him." I was like, "What?"
No, I just find his song. I just find him to be like that he was created in a factory somewhere. Like I think he's going to get in. I think he's going to get in.
I think he's got the goodwill.
Yeah, that's the thing. Totally got the goodwill.
I think he has the goodwill.
He plays the game. He's a nice person.
He's got the good.
He has a guitar in his hand. He fits a lot. I just find him to be like, all of his songs sound like somebody else's song. I just look at him and I'm like, I don't know. He just drives me nuts with his tiny little big-headed sheer shirt self. But I'm sure he's a lovely guy. Though my Lenny Kravitz will always be Buddy X. I'm sorry. Anytime
And that's our girl Netta letting him have it on wax.
I'm like, that is my image of Lenny Kravitz is Buddy X, and you will never
let him have it on wax.
Let him have it. All right.
So wait, was that six?
Six.
So my last one is the legendary Mariah Carey.
Okay. This is one I'm really torn on. So I know why you want her, but
Well, no, I want her because let's move past the voice. I want her because Mariah Carey, even though she is in the Songwriters Hall of Fame, I don't think she is given enough respect for the fact that she wrote or co-wrote or produced and co-produced a lot of her material from the beginning of her career.
From the beginning.
And as a woman that she always had to fight for those things, and she did. And I think that being able to do that and be consistent and fight and all of that, she deserves to be in. She has the hits. She's got the stamina. She's got the career. She has the talent, and if we're talking about rock and roll on a broader spectrum of, because we would always when we talk about music, we call it rock and roll, but that was the term that a lot of people use for all music, but that's rock and roll. And I think that she 1,000% has earned the right for the distinction because she's been amazing.
Well, my feeling is, I'm torn on her because on one hand, on a very practical level, if you're going to have Whitney in there, you have to have Mariah because they were like the Twin Towers. You know what I mean? It was like, and in her defense, I mean, an extra selling point, since people get all caught up about, oh, you write your songs, you don't. Mariah did write. So there is that extra bonus points of that. I know Mariah is super talented. I never listen to her unless it's not because I don't like her, but she's never been somebody. I know she's super talented, and her hits when she was at her like peak with those banging out those hits. Mm-hmm. I feel like men don't like her, the powerfuls. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it's because she went up against one of the most powerful men in the industry. I feel like she's somebody, and I also feel like
survived it and came out the other side.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, to be honest with you, we were going to vote for women on the basis of how much abuse they took, then every woman who ever made a record.
Absolutely.
Would win Oscars, would win Tonys.
Every woman in the music industry. Well, the music industry especially, every woman would just automatically be like, there would be the list, and these are the women that are being inducted this year.
Well, I think out of all the people on this list, if you're one of these, it's not rock and roll people, you know, if you're still playing that game, I think the two people where the back of their hair will go up will be Mary and Mariah.
Right.
Because I think those are the ones that engender.
I think Mary has no shot.
I know. And I want her so bad. You know me and Mary. Are you Googling? Are you texting me right now?
Uh-huh.
Are you?
I am.
Oh. What do you... Wait.
You'll see.
Oh. Thank you.
Yeah, I am. I'm good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Your check is in the mail.
Yeah.
All right.
Even I was like, don't do that.
Thank you. We are an evoking mind melt here.
Don't do that. Yeah.
No, but I think that Mariah is because I know. I understand. The wacky weed.
It was almost like, oh, bitch, you're not on the telephone. Fun fact.
But you know what's funny? You know what's really funny though? Yeah. If in several years from now, okay, so whenever she's up for an award, if Beyonce were to be nominated, she wouldn't face the same kind of like, but she's not rock and roll.
You want to know why? I will tell you why. Because one, I think people realize they watch. And
Beyonce's not. And when is Beyonce eligible? It would be first with Destiny's Child.
Then, if it's first with Destiny's Child, she's already eligible.
Right, but I'm saying solo is 98, 99.
Solo's 2001.
2001.
Oh, so it's coming. Solo's 2001.
2 years.
And it wouldn't be Destiny's Child, right? So it would have to be her. So she's got a couple of years. Listen, she's clearly going to be first round ballot because everybody loves her. You see the work, you see what it is. You understand that that's really an exceptional. Exceptional.
But I think that Mariah and Mary are the two, and actually, it's funny. I think Mary gets a little more of a pass because she, and I'm putting huge quotes here, sings black music. So that's like, well, you know, it's not my kind of music, but she is in an R&B tradition. Whereas Mariah, even though she's clearly coming out of black music and is black, and, you know, is still viewed as pop, and pop is still not taken as seriously. But again, I don't know if I'm voting for Mariah, but I will say if you're going to have Whitney in there, those were the two main voices. I mean, that was it. If you talk to, if you talk to any young girl R&B pop singer coming up
Whitney
in the 80s and 90s, Whitney and Mariah, to this day.
Because those records are evergreen. They've not gone anywhere. They're still playing. Right. And you know what? We're going to take a break right here. And when we come back, Our Lady Ames is going to have to make her choices. Be right back.
Hey, Pantheon listeners. Christian Swain here, taking a break from listening to a little Shout It Out Loudcast episode. Love Tom and Zeus talking all things Kiss. Of course, I was listening to them on my new Raycon wireless earbuds. They have quickly become my go-to earbuds because of the comfort. These soft tips are the best I've ever used. And at this price, plus a Pantheon discount, Raycon is really hitting on all marks. Sound quality is great too. I really love having these 3 EQ options because I like more bass in the music, but less in my podcast. 8 hours of playtime for the battery is great as well. Surround sound, noise isolating, and awareness mode are all included. These are great earbuds. Go to buyraycon.com/Pantheon today to get 20% off your Raycom order plus free shipping. That's right. You'll get 20% off and free shipping at buyraycon.com/Pantheon. buyraycon.com/Pantheon. Hey, Pantheon listeners, Christian Swain here. Another day, another podcast I'm working on. This time, it's Famous and Gravy with Amit and Michael. I want to let you know that I loved the Factor Meals package so much that I re-upped for myself, and then I sent a package to my in-laws. Like I was with my first shipment from Factor Meals, the in-laws were as excited to try one of the prepared restaurant quality meals. Well, they got the shipment of Protein Plus meal plan and were very impressed. See, being in their 80s, anything to make the meal prep easy is a plus for them. They heated the oven per instructions and minutes later were enjoying a very delicious, nutritious, and dietitian-approved meal. One big win for me. But what really floored them was the taste. Like I told you, it's surprising how good these meals taste. Restaurant quality indeed. And like my own shipment, it really was everything Factor Meals said it would be for some seniors. No prep, no mess meals. Factor Meals are 100% ready to heat and eat. Take it from me and my in-laws. Head to factormeals.com/Pantheon50 and use the code Pantheon50 to get 50% off. That's factormeals.com/Pantheon50 and use the code Pantheon50 to get 50% off. Thank you, Factor Meals.
Hey folks, Stefan Shirazi and Renee Richardson here from the Metallica Report.
And we are proud members of the Pantheon Podcast family, where the best of music and podcasts unite.
We've got something pretty cool for you. We're giving away an exclusive Metallica merch package worth over $250.
That's a whole lot of Scary Guys, Skulls, M72, and other sought-after Metallica swag. And we've made it easy for you to win. Follow and share the Metallica Report, and you're in the game. Go to pantheonpodcast.com/Metallica, enter your email, and hit that button to be entered to win.
And just like that, you're eligible for our monthly exclusive Metallica merch package.
And guess what, rockers? You can enter every month, so just do it. And while we love our global brothers and sisters, the lawyers won't let us ship outside the U.S.
Okay, and we're back. All right, Lady Ames, the time has come.
I know, and I'm going to change.
The time has come.
Mary, hands down, not a question. Mary, Mary, Mary. I vote. My only reason for not voting for Mary last year was because Shaka wasn't in. When Shaka got in, I'm like, the path is open. Mary. You know, I'm just like, not always, but I am a fan of chronology, and I'm a fan of, you know, like you don't put in the group that the group sounds like. Right. You know what I mean? You don't put in the group without the group, because otherwise it's like, how can you, like, you don't put it. Yeah. So Mary. I don't think she's going to get in. Cher. More because of her Cher-ness. I mean, I know that's a ridiculous reason to vote, but I'm not voting for president, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? It's like, Cher. She's Cher, for crying out loud. She's Cher. I mean, that's it. She's Cher. And if she shows up, she'll put on a great show. Eric B. and Rakim, who are not going to get in, I just love them. I think they are just foundational.
We're wasting two
votes.
We're wasting
all my votes. Yeah.
I'm just, you're like, this was not getting in. This is not, so I'm just going to vote. But you know what? Somebody has to. And the thing is, I think you should vote for what you really believe.
Yeah. And actually,
judging who you think deserves.
Judging from my writer friends and people who vote, seeing their stuff on Facebook, more people are voting for Eric B. and Rakim than are voting for Tribe.
There's it's so interesting. We've had this conversation about Tribe. There's something that seems sexier, and for lack of a better word, about Eric B. and Rakim.
Well, that voice. Rakim. And also Rakim, I mean, you know, look, I love them both.
Rakim still walks in the room, and even the Jay-Z's of the world are like, it's Rakim.
Because he's like, it's Rakim. You know what I mean? It's Rakim. And also, they were super foundational. I mean, as is Tribe. But I mean, I think, you know, you're going to have them cancel each other out. And I feel like, and also, all right, well, let me keep going. So Eric B. and Rakim, because
actually finish your statement. Like, we can finish.
Well, I think it's going to be, I think it's I totally just lost my train of thought in terms of, you know, it's always like you can't have two rap groups at one time. I mean, you can't have two women at one time.
We haven't seen two rap groups going in the same year, right?
I don't think so. No. Okay. No. It's always been one. Right. And these are just like two super strong groups, and they both deserve to be in. I think and I'm going to vote for Try, but I really do think it's a horrible thing to say because I love them so much. It's like, all right, guys, like third time, like unless third time's a charm. But anyway, Airbnb and Rakim, never Foreigner. All right. I mean, yeah, they have hits, but their best song is a Jennifer Holiday song.
They say... right? You mean her riff?
I want to know. Am I wrong?
I mean...
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I will say they have a lot of songs, but when I think of Foreigner, I think of
That's the only love it. Yeah. Which is a Jennifer Holiday song. I mean, Hot Blood is a stupid rock and roll song. Cold as Ice, stupid. Right? I know.
She's cold as ice. Cold as Ice was great.
I know. I was like, listen, I'm going to do a TED Talk one day on Black people and their ridiculous taste in rock music. Don't even get me started.
I also I like Nina Hagen. I like. No.
I'm not talking. I'm just talking about. Do you know?
Well, you know what? Well, it's Black people.
You like the drama.
It's Black people of a certain generation because our music was more integrated.
Yes,
you listen to the radio,
but it's also the drama.
But we would hear those songs too, right? It's not like now where everything is so.
No, for sure. But like I could get into like a fist fight with the please explain to me the Steve Perry thing. But then I realized it's because he's like dramatic and oversings and all right. Foreigner, like they'll probably get in.
You don't have to pick the ones you don't want. Pick who you are voting for.
No, but I want to explain. All right. Okay. Peter Frampton, no. Jane's Addiction, no.
No, hold on, wait. So you're Peter Frampton, like you were kind of like of age for the whole Peter Frampton.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Everybody, my sister had that poster on her wall.
I think he's going to get in.
Oh, I definitely think he's going to get in.
I mean, he just represents. Without a doubt. I just think of Frampton alive.
Frampton comes alive.
That poster, I can still see that in my head.
Everywhere.
And it just feels like for that alone, he's going to get in.
It was the white version of the Shaka Khan poster where she's straddling the lip couch, which was everywhere. Hello, old people. I think he's definitely going to get in. He's very talented. He deserves to get in. He, as your thing, he's done the work. He's well liked. He's a phenomenal guitar player. His work with Humble Pie was phenomenal. That said, in terms of this nomination, it's for one album when you really think about it. But it was a great one album, and it changed the game. That album suddenly made the live album like a thing, right? I mean. I think he's going to get in, and I'm not going to lose any sleep if he gets in. Trust me. I'm not going to vote for him, but I think he's definitely, and he deserves it. He 100% deserves it. Ugh, Jane's Addiction. Kool and the Gang. I'm voting for Kool and the Gang. Kool and the Gang.
They've been around for a very long time. They've had a lot of hit songs.
And they're really great.
And they're talented. Yeah.
And they're really great. And I really think that whole era and genre of music, this is sort of like the last few years that genre is going to have a chance. Getting the Spinners in was phenomenal. I'd love to see the Gap Band in. Isleys are in, which is great. Earth, Wind, and Fire, great. I think Kool and the Gang is like, there's like 4, I think Ohio Players should be in, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Brothers Johnson.
Yeah, but I think that's a harder one because... I agree, but I think Kool and the Gang, because the breadth of their career, they have that early Hollywood swinging and all that stuff and all the Egyptology kind of, and then like the Celebrate. And it's not their fault that Celebrate was taken over by every football. It's not their fault. They didn't say, and they're great. They're great. All phases of them. So I'm voting for them. Plus 50 years, man, 50 years. Are any of them still alive, by the way?
I believe so.
Wild and Peaceful. You know who one of the, Prince B from PM Dawn was related to a Kool and the Gang person.
And so do you remember Rashid?
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
You remember that one amazing album that he put out?
Yes,
it's so good.
I know.
That album is so good.
You know what song I love? She's Fresh.
And I like it.
I know. All right, Lenny, I'm voting for Oasis. I know it's a wasted vote. I don't care.
It's not a wasted vote. Like the more votes they get,
love them. Yeah. But if people think that by voting for them, they're getting back together, I got a bridge I can tell you. They are never, ever.
Which one of the two shows up to pick it up?
Neither. Right. Ever. The drummer.
That's true, because how many people were in the band? I feel like somebody...
Like 5 people.
Oh, yeah, the other 3 will come.
Yeah, well, and the other 3 aren't even, like, one of them was kicked out at one point, the drummer, and then they brought him back. I don't think any of them will come. I think if Noel Gallagher comes, it'll just make him look like, as the British say, a cunt. So I don't think he's going to do it. Liam is sure shit not going to do it.
Right.
I mean, he's already said, fuck you. I think Noel Gallagher's a little more politic than Liam is. I think Noel Gallagher has grown out of his sort of like, F you. I mean, they don't get high anymore. Well, at least Noel doesn't get high anymore. You know, they're kind of more grown-ups about it. So if either one of them were to show up, it would be Noel, but I don't think either one of them are going to show up. I mean, I really don't. I mean, so they'll send like, don't they have like 5,000 children they can send them? I love Oasis. I unabashedly, I don't care. It's not even apologetic. Okay, this is where, all right, are you counting for me? Because I'm not counting. Hold on.
Oh, shit, I wasn't counting. What did
all
we
right,
say?
I'll count. Hold on, because I circled it. Mary is 1. Cher is 2. Eric B. and Rakim is 3. Kool and the Gang is 4. Oasis is 5. All right.
And you already said you're voting for Tribe, so that makes 6.
6. All right. This is where. All right. Here's where I need your help.
Okay. Oof.
I am torn between Sade and Sinead.
I can understand that. I was torn with Sade, and I ultimately didn't pick Sade, and I said Sinead.
Now tell me why you didn't pick Sade, and I bet you the reason why I'm thinking of not picking her too.
I love Sade.
First off, let me preface this by saying that was the nomination I didn't see coming at all, and I'm thrilled about it.
I love Sade, love the music, love the albums, think they're amazing.
Yep.
I think they're important.
Yep.
But I think Sinead had something to say. She was important in a different way. Like, she was trying to tell her shit, and she was vilified and dragged through the mud. And she
made an impact.
And she didn't stop even when they dragged her through the mud, which is the most rock and roll shit ever.
Well, I mean, I will say again, this is where it becomes really difficult. I mean, do you vote for? Obviously, all these people are talented. So when you're given a choice between 2 people, because, you know, if we're going to vote,
I'm always going to take the one who made protest music.
Right. But if you're going to vote for impact, then Mariah gets in because she made the most commercial impact. She was the most out of all these women. You can make of those 3 women. I hate we have to judge, but of those 3 women, Mariah is the most commercially viable, successful, influential, yada, 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 yada. Okay. Sinead is an island unto herself. Is an island unto herself. And to me,
that's what, and so Sade, right, as a band, they absolutely are. But to me, there was only one Sinead, and the work, the protest of the work, the rock and roll, which is very rock, it's the definition of it to me.
Yeah.
And I just think that if I had to rank it in order of importance, they're very, very close. But I think Sinead really was just like, in your face.
And this is something like, this is with that angelic voice and that angelic. I have to say this, and I'll probably get drummed out of the club. I love Sade, but I don't listen to Sade on a regular basis.
Like, I play Sade a bunch. Like, I just played the Diamond Life album.
Yeah,
probably within the last week on vinyl.
She's phenomenal. I mean, so that's a really hard one, and that may go down to the wire. But and again, it's
do you play Sinead? Do you have a dig in?
No,
Sinead?
I really don't. But that said, I feel like Sinead. I mean, I am not taking anything away from Sade because those are gorgeous hits and everything. And really, I think Sinead caused a conversation.
And still does.
And not just because of her politics, but I think her essence, her very being forced you to do something. Let's face it, Sade is a gorgeous woman who presented very, like sexy and elegant and cool. And it didn't make you have to question things in a lot of ways, No,
she was like the muse. You were just fascinated by the presence.
And she's amazing. I don't know. Yeah. So that's the one that's kind of, I was stunned to see Sade. I was like, oh my God, that's fantastic. So I guess that's mine. And then of course I'll change. And I would love to see Ozzy get in. I'm not going to vote for him because you know what? I'm not qualified to vote for Ozzy. I know one Black Sabbath song. Like, Lenny. Oof, I don't get it. I don't get the Lenny. I don't get the Jane. I get the Jane's Addiction. But here's who I think is good. All right. So who do you think is going to get in? Knowing that you and I have, that traditionally anybody I vote for loses. So
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy, right?
Oasis.
You really do think that? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Frampton.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Ozzy Osbourne, Oasis, Peter Frampton, Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah. All boys so far.
Cher.
Yeah, I think so.
I think Sinead's going to get in there. And I think that Mariah might eke by and get in there.
You think so?
I think she might get in there.
I'll
be surprised, remember, because I didn't think Sheryl Crow was going to get in there. And you kept saying to me, I was like, they're not going to vote for Sheryl.
No, but Sheryl Crow has a very different kind of career.
You were like, they're going to vote for Sheryl.
But because Sheryl Crow still falls into that realm of rock and roll, and she was a she came up in that whole VH1 era. I'll tell you who I would never vote for them in a million years, but I'm actually surprised that Hootie's never been nominated. Never in a million years, but I vote for him. But Jesus Christ, you want to talk about an era-defining band? Yep. I mean, come on, man. I mean, whether you liked them or not, they were. I think that Cher is definitely going to get in. Mm-hmm. I think Foreigner's going to get in. Sorry. Mm-hmm. I think that also, and I'm not saying this to be mean, but I believe Mick Jones is not in great health. Mm-hmm. So this would be I think Dave, okay, here's who I think is going to get in. Cher, Dave Matthews, Foreigner, Frampton, Lenny. I think Kool and the Gang's going to get in, and Sinead.
Listen.
Oh, and Ozzy. So I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
We gagged with the Spinners, right? We did not see that coming. It was like,
at all.
Oh,
so
shit.
Happy. So happy.
Kool and the Gang absolutely 1,000% could be the spoiler and get up in there.
Well, and again, they're a group that, like, if you're a hip hop head and you're somebody who's voting, you know them because your mom and dad had the records and they've been sampled. If you're an old school, older voter, you know them. They represent not respectable. They're legitimate musicians. Right. They've had commercial hits. They've had I would love, and that would be, God, can you imagine who would play their stuff? Because they're not all.
I think there's a version of them that tours, right? Because they just did that whole anniversary. Their 40th anniversary.
The JT Taylor guy is still alive, right? The Celebration singer. The Celebration singer is still alive, right?
I believe he is.
But somebody just died from the group. Like the last remaining. All the Bells are. I'm looking at Robert Bell.
Right, because right now the current members, Robert Cool Bell, Michael Ray.
Alive?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. All right. Well, anyway, JT Taylor, James JT Taylor. Okay. Oh, if they just got up there and played Hollywood Swinging for forever.
Because they put out the last album they put out was in 2021.
And I always forget that they're on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack with Open Sesame, which was one of the biggest soundtracks.
Yeah,
it's a great soundtrack ever.
It's a great soundtrack.
It's a great soundtrack. I mean, that soundtrack is better than the movie, and the movie's great.
Mm-hmm.
That movie. I was showing that movie to my I'm showing my writing class this. They're gonna watch a documentary and then write a review, and I got so tired of trying to explain Basquiat in the 80s to them that I said, all right, we're switching. I can't watch any more Basquiat movies and try to explain to you why people in the 80s went to clubs. So I'm showing them this great little documentary that was on PBS called The War Against Disco. And it's just basically about the whole disco backlash.
That was a really good one.
It's a really good one. And like they show the opening scenes of Saturday Night Fever. Not one person in that class had ever heard of the movie, had any idea of anything about it. And I was like, oh my God, Saturday Night Fever is like the greatest New York movie ever.
Yeah.
If you're from the outer boroughs and you've never seen Saturday Night Fever, what is better than John Travolta taking those 2 slices of pizza and slapping them on top of each other and walking down 86th Street?
Ooh, I want pizza.
I know you always want pizza.
I do always want pizza.
You really do always want. I mean, when you saying I want
pizza. You sent me that
like,
video. I was like, ooh, pizza. That was the first.
I know, it's good.
best.
I know. And the best thing is when he eats it and it's like hot, and he goes, hot, and then he pulls the cheese off and then he eats it.
I'm literally like, what's wrong with you that the first thing you're noticing is the pizza?
No. That's why I sent it to you, though. That's why I sent it. The pizza and then spilling it all out of his mouth. I thought you would appreciate that he was basically regurgitating pizza. We were talking about a small child, one of us.
Right,
neither one of us regurgitate pizza. So that's what I think. And I think it's, you know what? Other than Lenny Kravitz, there's nobody on here. I mean, they all deserve to be in. They really do all do. And every year they all deserve to be in. But I think this is going to be, I hope it's 7 people. I seriously hope it's 7 people. That would be great. It would be, after all that, it'll be fun. I think it's going to be really fun.
Well, we will know soon.
Yeah, I think they would, the ballots have to come in the 15th, and I'm assuming mid-May, May.
Yeah, it's usually like in May
May-ish, something like that. Right around my birthday.
Right around your birthday.
Twirls hair.
Are you going back to Europe this year for the birthday?
No, I'm going. Well, I'm not going for my birthday. I'm going because I want to go. I'm going to. I don't even know where technically this country is. I mean, what continent it is. That's fucked up, right? I don't even. I believe it's the Asia I'm going to. Uzbekistan? Is that the Asia? Or is that the Europe? Google it. See. I think it's Central Asia. I'm such an American. I don't even know where I'm going. Uzbekistan.
It's a country in Central Asia.
All right, so I'm going to the Asia.
You're going to the Asia.
I'm going to the Asia. I don't know why some people go.
The currency is the Uzbekistani Som.
Uzbekistani Som sounds like a band. The Uzbekistani Som. Yeah, so we'll see. My friend is like, why are you consistently going to these third world countries that nobody's ever heard of? I go, well, people have heard of this place. I know a lot of people. I said, I'm a spy. Maybe I am a spy. Maybe I'm the one who's actually a spy. Anyway. All right. Anything else you need to say for yourself, mister?
I would like to say, Papa don't preach. I'm in trouble deep. Don't preach.
Did I tell you this? And then I'll go. I just want to let you know that I do not smoke weed, but this is what happened to me on Saturday. I'm watching the Knicks game. Okay, it's piss. For those of you not in New York, it was literally monsooning, like animals 2x2.
Day.
Animals 2x2 coming down the street. So I'm watching the Knicks game, still a little jet lag, and I'm so glad I didn't. And I'm sitting there going, damn. And they're playing the Nets. Okay. And the Nets just suck. The Nets at this point are just playing for a draft pick. That's all they're playing for, just to run out the clock and pay for a draft. But the game was actually really tight. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, man, the Nets suck so much. There's more Knicks fans at this game. And look at them. They're booing them at their home court. And da-da-da. And then all of a sudden I went, oh shit, they're playing in New York.
That they were at the Garden, sweetie. You're like, they're horrible. Look at how they're yelling at them. They're in Manhattan.
Right. Yeah, I don't understand. Wow, nobody even goes to Nets games anymore. They suck. They're not even shooting the set. Wait a minute. Why are they wearing orange and blue?
You're like, is that Manhattan? I think that's Manhattan.
Wait a minute. Is that Clyde Frazier? Oh, shit.
Kind of, sort of. Yes.
Anyway.
On that note, kids, we'll thank you. We'll see you next week. So you know what to do. Listen to us every week on the Pantheon Podcast Network, where you can find us and a plethora. There's a lot of good new shows.
There's a lot of good new shows
that you need to check out. We're on the main feed. So, you'll see, you can find us there. You can find us at all the spots. Remember to tell a friend, share, tag, leave a review, leave a rating. You guys, again, I keep saying it. You all know all our socials, but honestly, I'm gonna let you finish Facebook page.
It's really ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
You all are horrible people, and we're here for it.
And we love every minute of it.
Horrible, messy, horrible people. And we encourage it.
Except we do. Except the times when we have to step in and be like, when we have to put
you in the timeout table.
When mom and dad have to step in and say, okay.
That's it. No more television for you, young man. Yeah, but you've been behaving. We enjoy the snark. We enjoy the fact that now I've developed relationships with people where they're offsite messengering me, asking about crazy like Pulp tickets, and I love all that.
But we love that you guys get the humor of our show. We love it.
Yeah. We would be dead. Are you kidding me? We would be dead meat. Are you kidding me?
It's an educated consumer honey. And if that's, we'll see you next week, kids. Bye. Toodles.
Hey, this is Liberty DeVito.
This is Mike Del Giudice.
This is Michael Cavanaugh from Broadway's Moving Out.
This is John Jackson, director of the Billy Joel Archive.
This is Russell Javers.
This is Richie Cannata, and you're listening to Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast. It's awesome.
I'm Michael Grosvenor.
And I'm Jack Fernino.
We're lifelong Billy Joel fans who launched a podcast in 2020 celebrating the music we love.
Whether you're looking for the greatest hits or the B-sides and rarities, you'll find it all here. And if you've ever wondered what happens behind the scenes of a concert or recording session, we've got you covered.
Join us as we explore albums, tours, band members, the latest news, and more. You'll also get a unique glimpse into the music industry straight from the musicians and other professionals who help make it all happen.
Tune into Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast at glasshousespod.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Glass Houses, a Billy Joel podcast is a proud member of the Pantheon Podcasts network.